Okay then, welcome back. This is part 2. First of all, in the first part I said this was an English comic. I'm wrong. DC Thomson is based in Scotland, in Dundee I think. So what I should have said is a British comic. Or if the SNP get their way, it'll be a Scottish comic next year. And anyway, sorry about that if there's any Scots saying, but that's our comic. No, it's British. Right, anyway, so I said we'll look at these Beano books. First of all, on top is some cars. This is a free gift. It's sort of a foam, kit car that was free with one comic, and it's sort of got menace power written on the side. And number 1, it has a pullback motor. It's not very good, but it's pretty fragile, so I'll put it over there where it won't get squashed. This car itself came from an issue of the Beano Max. We will get to that later. And it's basically simple. It's got the car here, it's got a key here, and if I press this down, it goes over there. I'll put the key over there with it. And then we've got this. If you've watched my What Engines of Wire Hamlet, you may have seen this in the background of the modern railway, and it's basically just a van made by Days Gone By, owned by Corgi. Another one is this one. This is the latest addition to my collection. I bought it on Saturday at a Steam rally, and it's basically a Lido Bedford truck with Minnie the Minx on. So the oldest item in my collection is this Beano book from, if I skip to the back of the cover, then it tells me when it's from, 1963, and this is my oldest item of the book. I bought it at a auction shop in Liverpool area on Smith down the road, I think. It's a pretty cool book. There was a load of old Beano annuals. I could only afford one, and this is one I got, £1.50. So a big collector's tip: if you want to collect the Beano and you want to get some old books or what have you, then I recommend you go to a charity shop like Oxfam, where it's concerned, or Cancer UK. They'll often have old comics, old ones like these. So you see, because most of these, right up until 2002, one that I have here, were all bought at charity shops. So they are a good place to look for charity shops. This was 7 and 6, I think. I'm not sure of old money when it was originally built, and this is always a recurring theme in the Beano. You have one comic, so here's Jonah. He's famous for sinking ships. They say, it's him. And you skip right to the back, and there you are. Funny enough, quite funny, don't you think? SS Crafty fooled him, and it's probably the only ship which didn't sink. It's still, in this period of the comics history, there's still stories like this, and a few tech stories in somewhere as well. You had your Cubites, you had your Billy Cud. In fact, most of his strips you probably wouldn't recognise in today's Beano, because most of them are beyond. But even now, if you look closely, you've got the Denison Menace and you've got your Bash Street Kids, which are still in it today. Now, my favourite strip of all is General Jumbo. And the best Beano annuals, I think, are the ones with him in. He was originally in the comic in the 50s. He was as a weekly character, but he didn't stay long. But since then he's been in many Beano annuals, nearly to the present day. So basically, why I like him so much is he's got this little wrist control, and this little wrist control controls a whole model army. Pretty impressive. What boy wouldn't want that? I would, and I'm pretty certain most of you would. And the front cover, and then the back cover, it all turns to chaos. He drops his weight. That's Biffo. he'll slowly disappear from the front cover as time goes on. The next Beano book is 1977, with the date on the front. Nice Beano trying to get some apples on a trampoline, but Dad, clever Dad, he throws them in the water. Quite clever. And then the blackboard nonsense from the front. This was $2.49. And then I must not write on the blackboard, teacher says. Again, it's mostly in 2 colours, but a lot of these characters are still in it to the present day, and most of the characters that you saw on the last Beano book aren't in it anymore. The next one is 1981. The front and the back. Oh, Asher. There's the front cover. $2.99 it was. 90p that was, and $1.41 originally. That was the price that I paid. That's the price that it was originally. And then Nasher again at the back. Again, even more. There are very few characters now that you can see in this that you can't see in the modern Beano. All of them's here. Next one's 1984. It's a nice book. Snowman. Nasher chasing cats, but then the cats get the end back and splat Nasher. There's the front. They're having a tug of war against the Bash Street Kids against Lord Snooty and his pals. This was originally £2. I got it for $1.99. Probably from Oxfam. And then Chaos Ensues from the back cover. Again, most of these, but there are some characters that you won't see in the Beano now, but there are some characters that are in the Beano. One, I think I passed it already, but one character that you won't see in the Beano now, I think, but quite a good character, was Grandpa. Which, can we find him again? Yes. Here's Grandpa. He's basically an old person who gets into trouble, and that's his dad, even older than he is. And then the next one's 1984 and 1985. Sorry, we just done 1984, and it's the Beano book. And we've got the Beano Marathon. They're all starting. Poor Walter, he can't do it. He's only just started. But Nash is going to help him finish first. Dennis probably won't be too happy. And then we've got Billy Whiz whizzing round with washing lines there. So never be without a Beano. The price has been cut off. Don't know why people want to do that. I mean, you could find, but I paid $2.99 for this. Then if we go to the back. Can't I stop now, Mr. Editor? My feet are killing me. So they often talk to the editor or the writer, and the editor or the writer often gets the going back in the end. And again, just get most of the characters you see here, you can still see in the Beano of today. So I feel we've been through 3 decades of Beanos there. We've only done 1, 2, 3, 4 books. 5 books. Next one is 1990. We're getting to a 10-minute mark, so how about a part 3 and we'll look at the rest of the Beano books then. Alright then, see you then.